So hello, I'll give you a quick overview again on CDS views. So CDS views means core data services, which what are these CDS views we use to push the code to the database layer instead of executing complex business logic in the application layer by using loops, right? Read statements and everything. Instead of that, we use CDS views to push the execution of the complex functionality to the database layer, okay, to improve the performance of the data selection. Okay, so since these core data services directly accessing the HANA database tables, and it will provide only the result set. It won't transfer huge volume of data to application server for the further calculations. Okay, so CDS views will apply all data selection logics and everything in the database layer, and it will send only the result data, minimal result data to the application server. So you don't need to transfer huge amount of data from database layer to application layer, right? So that the performance of the application can be improved using core data services. So we have different types of core data services like basic view, CDS view with join, CDS view with parameters, and CDS view with associations. So once again, I'll show you how to create a CDS view using joins. Since we have already created report ALV reports using like sales order and purchase order data, so once again I'll create a same requirement in CDS view, right? We'll see how to achieve the same requirement using CDS view by creating join conditions on the sales data tables or uh, purchase order data tables. Okay, let me quickly create a CDS view. How to create a CDS view? So you need to go to HANA Studio or Eclipse. That is prerequisite, right? Without HANA Studio or Eclipse, you cannot create CDS views, right? So if it is a HANA Studio, tools might be already available. If it is not HANA Studio, if you are using Eclipse, first download the Eclipse IDE from the web. It's a freeware you can download, and go to help. First you need to install the tools required for the ABAP development or BW development or HANA development. By default, you cannot create any ABAP objects in Eclipse. You need to install the software. So where can you find this softwares? HANA, if you go to HANA development tools website, there you can find the HANA development tools. Depends on your Eclipse version. Select the URL and enter the URL here, press enter. And select the ABAP development tool since we are working on ABAP, and if you want BW development tool, select BW development tools and click on next and finish. So it will install the ABAP development tools add-in into the Eclipse environment. Okay, so that is the prerequisite. Then what is the next step? You need to create a project. How to create a project? First you need to go to ABAP perspective. Here you can see ABAP perspective. First you need to select. Once you are in ABAP perspective, go to the projects, new ABAP project. Select the new ABAP project, select your application server, server details from your SAP GUI, right, and click on next. So it will add the connection. You need to provide user ID and password. It will add the project to the HANA Studio ABAP perspective here, right, and then you can start creating. In system library, it will contain all the packages. Inside the each package, whatever the relevant objects assigned to that package, you can find all the objects inside that package. Since we have assigned to the local object like $tmp local package, you can see all our objects in the local object. Otherwise, in projects, you can find your objects in system library and packages. Find your package name. So for which package you assigned your objects like tables, programs, function modules, class methods, or anything. Okay, you need to find your package. Under your package you can find your objects. Since this package contains only CDS views, that's why it is programs, that's why it is showing source code library. Inside the source code library you can find programs, function modules, and classes, right? Since we have assigned all our objects to the local package, you can see all our programs, whatever we created till now, under this $tmp and best user ID. So we are using best as user ID, right? So these are the objects under this package: core data services, source code library. Under source code library, what you can find? programs, data dictionary objects, programs, function modules, class methods, and these. Okay. Under data dictionary, you can find all tables, data elements, and domains. Under core data services, what you can find? Whatever the CDS views you created. Okay. Under data definitions, you can find your CDS views. Okay. So let's create one CDS view. Oh, sorry. Let me share the screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's create a new CDS view. Anyway, I've already explained this in the previous session. So go to your package and go to core data services, or just right click on the package, new, go to, if you are not able to find this core data services folder, like right click on the package, click on new, and go to other ABAP repository objects, and you need to find I think data definitions. Yeah, core data services. If you are able to find this core data services folder, you can directly right click and create. Click on data definitions for normal CDS views. Select your package. If you want to change your package, you can provide the actual package name, and provide a name, zdemo sales. Click on next. It won't generate any transport request since we are not assigning to actual package. Otherwise, it will generate a transport request. By using this transport request, we can transport the changes from development to test system. Next, select the type of the view. What is the type of the view you are creating? CDS view, basic CDS view, or CDS view with joins, or CDS view with associations, right? Click on finish. It will show you basic syntax which is required for the joins. Finish. That doesn't mean that you cannot change the type. You can change the type, like you can add the parameter, you can add associations anytime. It won't restrict you to change it, but it will show some sample syntax. It depends on the selection here. Now if you observe, what are the annotations? Annotations are the properties, like you can add any special features to the CDS views. SQL view name. This is mandatory annotation you need to provide. So whenever you create a CDS view, it will automatically generate one data dictionary view also. So you need to provide that name. Zdemo v underscore some, follow some naming convention. Okay, and you can change the description if you want. Now define view is the syntax. So define view is the syntax to create this. 1 second. And after define view, zdemo sales is the CD.
So on which view we need to write select statements? We need to write our select statements on CDS view, not on data dictionary view. Okay, can you hear me? Can you please?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, what we need to provide here in place of data source name, table, on which table you are trying to select the data. Since we are trying to select sales order data, VBAK is the header table, and from. So how can you decide whether we need to go with left outer join or inner join? If the data from both tables are mandatory, we have to use inner join. Like matching records in the both tables are mandatory, right? Otherwise, we can use left outer join. In some cases, we need to use left outer join, even the data is mandatory from both tables, because some special features are not working, like delta. In this case, I am using inner join on VBAK. And what is the line item table for sales order? What is the line item table for sales order? Header data is VBAK. What about item level data? Yesterday only we created CDS view on the same.
Anna, some noise coming from your mic. Anna.
Okay, is it clear now?
Clear.
Okay, what is the table for sales order item?
VBAP.
Yeah, VBAP. And the join condition. It is very similar to your OpenSQL join, right? But instead of tilde operator, we use dot here. What is the common field between header data and item data? VBELN.
VBEL.
VBAK VBLN equal to VBAP VBELN. That is the common field between both tables, and it is a primary key field, so there is no chance of duplicate records, right? So even if you click on dot, it will show all the list of the fields available in that table. So if you want to join further, we can use MAKT. For MAKT, I'll use left outer join. Since if the text is not available, I don't want to stop the CDS view to select the header data and item level data. Okay, so I want to make it optional. Left outer join MAKT, and the join condition on VBAP dot matner equal to MAKT dot matner. Since it's a text table, what is the other condition we need to pass? Language, right? MAKT dot spras equal to E, English language. And here in between the brackets, mention all the fields which you want to select. If you want to define any fields as key fields, use keyword key. Okay, anyway, this is optional, depends on the requirements, you can define. When you are using these as data sources, it makes difference. Okay. Using table name and corresponding field name is optional, because if the same field name is available in both tables, you need to use table name along with the field name. Otherwise, VBLN as. So just try to use readable names instead of technical names. I'm using alias name to convert these names into readable names. Sales order. Sales order item. What are the other fields we need to select? I think ZMENG is the quantity field. Yes, quantity. VBAP.NET NETWR as total price. What is NETPR? What is NETPR? Unit price. Okay, unit price. What is the price per unit for each quantity? Okay, so how can we get a total quantity? How can we get, if we have NETPR value, and how can we get total price? Or sorry, not total quantity, total price. Total quantity into unit price, right? For example, if you don't have NETWR, how can you calculate the total value? VBAP, I'm creating a calculated column. Observe here, I'm creating a calculated column. NETPR into VBAP dot ZMENG as total value. I'm calculating like this. Okay, and then first let's test this. First let's test this, how it is working. Check the syntax. Sorry, we are not selecting material text, right? MAKT.MAKTX as is this alias names mandatory? Do we need to use these alias names? Is it mandatory?
No, no.
It's not mandatory.
Client requires some names.
Yeah, it is not mandatory, but it is recommended to use because we are transforming the technical name into readable names. Okay, so check the syntax, no errors. Activate the CDS view. And how to test the CDS view? Here, run it. Okay, looks like it is still activating. It is activated now. Now execute. Do we have any data in this table or not? Let me find this table. VBAK, right? Looks like we don't have any records in this. Looks like VBAK table is empty. In which server we are in currently? A4H. Let me check in GUI whether do we have any data available or not. Otherwise we need to do it in the different server. We have 45 entries. So if your CDS view is active, right, you can check your CDS view here in SAP GUI. Where can you check? If you have that SQL view name, sorry, data dictionary view name, copy that data dictionary view name from CDS view and enter in here in view. Click on display. It is not exist. Looks like we did not create that in 2021. On which server we created? 2022 might be. Let me check 2022 server. That project is on 2022 server, it seems. So enter the view name, display. Yeah, it is in 2022 server, right? You can see your join condition here. It will automatically generate one CDS view, sorry, data dictionary view when you created the CDS view. Here you can see the data definition. Data definition nothing but CDS view. Double click on this to access the CDS view from GUI. So this is your CDS view, right? Whatever you have implemented inside the Eclipse or HANA Studio. So you can only view here. You can only view your CDS view here in SAP GUI. If you want to do any changes or to create any new CDS view, you have to go to the Eclipse or HANA Studio. There is no other way. Okay. So from GUI, you can only access your CDS view by using this data definition option. Okay. This is an important interview question as well. Sometimes they ask you how to access CDS view from SAP GUI, right? For that, what is your answer? Take the data dictionary view name and click on display, and there we have data definition. If you double click on this, you can see the data dictionary view name. Okay. You can also test this view if it is selecting any data or not, but actual select statement should be on which one? CDS view name. Okay. Looks like there is no data in this server. F7. Number of records. Yeah. There is no data in 2022. Right. What I'll do, I'll copy the CDS view as it is. And I'll try to create in a different server. '21 server. We should use separate names. Okay. Like all the projects are with the same names. So that's why we are not sure on which server we are in. Go to local objects. Okay, looks like this is 2021, right? Core data services. We should be able to find our CDS view here. Data definitions. Z demo sales, right? You can also search here, search your CDS view instead of finding one by one. Okay. Sorry, we have to create the CDS view here, right? In 2021 server, because previously we created that in 2022. I'll copy this, the syntax. New data definition. Z demo sales. Next. I'll just copy and paste whatever I've created there. Okay. Activate here. Please make sure you are using proper name for data dictionary view name and CDS view name. Okay. Now execute it. Now we got some records. Okay, there is some issue. Like quantity is 0 for most of the records. That's why total value is 0. Okay, this is unit price and quantity is 0 for most of the records. So that's why unit total value is 0. Otherwise, it should display some proper value here. Okay, so this is how you can use calculated columns. You can calculate values here. Okay, for example, if you want to add some tax value in the calculation, CDS view calculation, right? So in our normal open SQL statements, what you need to do, if you need to add some additional tax to the existing value in the table, what you need to do, first you need to select data into internal table, and you need to loop the internal table, and you need to update that value. But here simply, if you want to add some tax value to the total price, right, NETWR, what you can do, for example, 10 rupees as tax, you can simply use comma 10 as final amount including tax. Maybe you don't have that much tax usually to some calculated value. Okay, so this is the final value. We're multiplying that value. Similarly, you can use other arithmetic operations also. Okay, so how to use case statements here depends on some condition you want to populate the value. Depends on some condition you want to populate the value. How to use case statements? Let me add one more field, that is currency. Yes, currency. Now what I want to do, I want to add some conditional fields here. If the quantity is greater than some 100, I want to display one value in the new calculated field. If the total value, sorry, not quantity, total price is greater than some amount, I want to display some other condition. So how to add that case statement here? Case is the syntax. When, okay, when VBAK dot NETWR is less than or equal to some 100, then what is the value you want to populate? Okay, what is the other condition? When VBAP dot NETWR is greater than 100, then high amount. When we use else? When the above two statements are not true, then else will execute as default statement. Okay, and I'll add one uncondition here. VBAP dot NETWR is greater than 0. Okay, so that's why we can eliminate 0 values. Okay, we don't need to consider 0 values. Else, in else part, this 0 values condition will execute. Else no value. Okay, and how to end the case statement? End as that alias field name, your new calculated field name. Okay, your new calculated field name. Amount to type, for example, I'm taking that field name as amount to type. Okay, let's execute this, test this. So let's test this CDS view. Once you activate it, run. Okay, looks like it is not activated. Activate it. Now run the CDS view. So if you observe, so it is displaying conditional calculated value amount type. If the value is greater than 100, it is displaying high amount. If the value is 0, it is displaying no value, because else condition is executing, right? So if it is less than 100, it is executing this statement, small amount. Okay. So here we have currency, right? We'll also add one more case statement on currency. Okay. So when currency is INR, we'll display it as Indian, and when the currency is GBP, we'll display it as European currency, or England currency. Okay. We'll add one more calculated column. How to use one more case statement? Comma after the end as. Don't use commas here. Okay, within the case statement. Once you complete the case statement, write one more case statement. Case on currency, right? Sorry, when can you hear me? Okay, so VBAP equal to INR then next condition, when then like that you can add more conditions. Okay, else for other currencies, unknown. How to close the case statement? And as your new calculated field name, currency name. Okay, that's it. Like that you can add any number of case statements one by one, depends on your requirement. For that you need to use a new calculated field. Activate it. So your CDS view is activated. Now test this CDS view. If you need to implement all these calculations in OpenSQL, like in our normal ABAP statements, you need to loop the internal table records. First you need to select all the records, and you need to loop it, and you need to do this calculation inside the loop, right? But here in CDS view, without any loops, we are calculating using case statements. So we can improve the performance, right? Now test the CDS view. If you observe, it is displaying as per the currency code. Currency name is displaying. For unknown, if there is no currency, it is displaying it as unknown. So like that, you can add any number of case statements, right? So now our CDS view is ready. Let's use this CDS view in our program. Okay, to display data in ALV reports. Or you try to create ALV reports. I'll just create the basic program. You can also create program here in HANA Studio or Eclipse. Okay, you can also try that. You're trying to create on the same server, but these editors are different. That's it. So please make sure if you want to use the CDS view, you should please make sure that CDS view is created in the same server. Okay, where you are creating the program. So this is your assignment. I'm not going to create ALV report. I'll just display using sample data output. So you have to create ALV report. So here, how to call the CDS view? Select. Again, you can use select star from. If you want to select all the fields, whatever you are selecting in the CDS view, right? If you are using select star, doesn't mean that you are selecting all the fields of the VBAK and VBAP MAKT, right? If you are writing select statement on CDS view, and if you are using select star, that means you are trying to select all the fields, whatever mentioned here. Okay. How many fields we have here? Around 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, around 10, 11 fields. You are trying to select all these fields, or you don't want to select all these fields and you want only specific fields from the CDS view. So without using select star, use individual field names. What are the field names you need to use? For example, Matner or material. What is the field name you need to use in the select statement, in the OpenSQL select statement? You should not, you should not use Matner. You should use material, because you are writing select statement on the CDS view, not on the data dictionary table, right? We are using alias names here to convert the field name into material, right? Select star from, what is the CDS view name? So you can write select statements on both data dictionary view name and CDS view name. But if you write data dictionary view name, again it will execute that join condition in the application level. There is no advantage, right? So that's why you should use CDS view name into table and the where condition is your choice. You can use your where condition or not. Okay, so the simple regular where condition you can use. So it will filter the data from CDS view, but again, how it will filter? It will select entire data, depends on the CDS view join condition, and it will transfer the data to application layer. And here you are able to filter that data, whatever the data selected by CDS view, that data you are filtering. Okay, you are not applying filter on the CDS view logic. Okay, you are just applying filter on the data which is selected by the CDS view. You are not able to apply filter on the CDS view directly without using parameters. Okay, anyway, I'm not using any where condition. Let's leave it here. If sy hyphen sub rc equal to 0, end if, and I'll use some CL demo output functionality. Actually, what you need to do to display the ALV report, instead of this, build field catalog and call ALV grid display function module. You need to do that here. Okay, your field catalog should be on these field names: material, text, quantity. Okay, because we are not using the actual technical field names within the CDS view. Now activate the program. Keep a breakpoint and execute. F5. Data is selected, 42 records are selected. Double click on the internal table. So what are the names you can see here? Not the technical field names, right? What are the alias names we have given? Those field names are generated in the internal table. Okay, you have to use the same field names, not the technical field names. All your calculated columns also selected here into this internal table. Okay, this is calculated column, right? Amount type, currency name, final amount, total value. These are all calculated fields. We call them as calculated fields. We created these calculated fields using arithmetic operations and case statements. Okay, is everyone clear? So display this data in ALV report. Okay, you can also create the program here. For that, which option you need to select? Go to data, source code library. Where is it? Yeah, source code library. Inside source code library, you can create. You can find the program what we created. You can also create program here. You can simply search using search operation. This is the program, right? What we created just now. Same program. Okay, so you can also debug your programs. Not only creating the programs, you can also debug your programs in HANA Studio. For that, we have some symbol, this symbol, debug symbol. Place the cursor. Where is ABAP? Looks like some configuration is missing. You can keep a breakpoint using this symbol, bug symbol. Okay, looks like that configuration is missing. Otherwise, you can debug in the HANA Studio also. Okay, is everyone clear on the CDS view what we created now? Is everyone clear? Let's create other types of CDS view where we can apply aggregate options, aggregate expressions. Like for example, if you want to find total salary by department, so total amount of salary the company is paying by department. Or take this sales order example. So I want to find the material, right, which is making huge sales, right, or the sum of the value by each material. If you observe the data, if you take this material FSCM test, sales orders are different, right? The same material is used for different sales orders to sell this item, to sell this material, right? And the price is different for different sales orders. So now I want to find total amount of this material, right? Total amount of sales for each material, not by sales orders. Now we are displaying data by sales orders, right? Here, sales order and sales order item. Now what is my requirement? I want to display, what is this? I want to display data by material, not by sales orders. I want to see total value by each material, total value generated by each material, total sales generated by each material, right? Material wise value I want to see, not by sales orders wise. Now what I need to do? I need to summarize all these values, right, by material. I need to aggregate this. So how to apply aggregate functions? Or I want to find the material which is having huge sales. I want to find only that material which make huge sales this year. Just like finding students with highest marks, right? I want to find a material with highest sales value. For this kind of requirements, what we need to apply? Aggregate functions, right? First, let's see how to find total value by material. Let's create one CDS view. Here we are not selecting thousands of records. We are aggregating the data and selecting only limited records. I'm creating new CDS view. Sales underscore AGR. I'll just use AGR. Click on next. Type can be anything, you can change it later, right? I want to select total sales by material, right? Okay, let's select join. Now we need to remember few things here. Join name, provide data dictionary name, that is mandatory. Z demo sales AGR. Please make sure you are not exceeding the length from VBAK, VBAP. You can use inner join or left outer join, that doesn't matter. And VBELN. So this is the join condition. Now I don't want to select all the records. So what are the records I want to select? Material by its sales value, right? Material by its sales value. Now I want to calculate the value by material. Now what is mandatory? Select the material number VBAP.matnr as alias name is optional. Now what is the other value? We need total value, right? What is the field for total value? VBAP.netwr as total value. Let's see. First, let's see what is the output of this syntax. Is it displaying total value by each material? No, right? It is displaying different records for a same material, right? It is not aggregating, right? It is not aggregating and display as a same value. What is the total value of this? So it should display the total value, total 16,980 and 1110. It should summarize the total value and display it here, but it is not displaying now. To display it, what we need to do? We need to apply aggregate functions. Aggregate functions. Okay, sum of NETWR as total value. Sum is a aggregate function, and when you are using aggregate function, you need to provide a special property, that is group by. How you want to aggregate it? Based on what fields, or based on what fields combination you want to aggregate it, or you want to summarize it. I want to summarize it by material, right? Group by material. Okay, group by Matner. I want to group records by material number and summarize it for each material, right? You can also take multiple fields if you want to group data by multiple fields, like material numbers and plant combination. Okay, now test this. Group by is mandatory when you are applying aggregate functions. Based on what field you want to group the result data. Execute it now. It is aggregating, right? If you see this FSCM test, see the previous result. Where is the previous data? Or maybe we'll check here. FSCM test. So it is displaying individual value here, but here it is displaying summarized value, aggregated data, total value of each material. So if you want to find sales by material, right, which material having what number of sales, then we need to use sum as aggregate option, aggregate function. Okay, clear? Is everyone clear? And group by is important. Here we are summarizing the data. Okay, next, for example, I want to know what is the material that is having huge sales, like maximum sales out of all materials of the sales orders. I'm commenting this sum. I'm using another aggregate function, that is max. So what is this max? It will get the material with highest number of sales. It will select only one record in this situation, right? Max of. Now execute. Sorry, need to activate it. Please practice this. These are very important. What is it, activated or not? Let me activate again. Let me try min. It should display only one record, but it is still summarizing it. Let me try customer Kunar. Sorry, not VBAP, VBAK. So I'm trying to find the customer with the lowest sales. But somehow it is not displaying the single record, it is aggregating. I need to check why it is not displaying the aggregated data. Okay. Min and max. Let me try count. Count. So count star, this to find number of records created by each customer, number of sales orders created for each customer. This customer created 27 sales orders and this customer created 3 sales orders. Okay. So it will provide count of number of sales orders created. You can select the count for materials also, like what are the total number of sales orders created for each material. Okay. You can also do that. So these are few aggregate functions like min and max. I need to check. Looks like they are not working properly. I need to check. And count star is to find total number of sales orders. Sum and sum is to find the total number of total value of the sales value, total sales value by material, customer, or you can take anything. But whatever the field you are trying to summarize by what field you are trying to summarize, you have to keep that field in the data selection. For example, if you want to summarize the value by customer, you should keep that field in the data selection and in the group by class. Whatever the fields you are using in data selection, apart from this aggregate function, you have to keep all of them in the group by class. For example, you are using 2 fields. Material also you are using. VBAP.matner. Now what is required? You have to keep that field in the group by class. VBAP.matner. Now you are trying to apply aggregate function on combination of both fields. Activate. In both fields combination, it will try to get the result. Okay. It will summarize the data by both customer and material combination. So whatever the fields you are using in data selection, those fields should be mandatorily available in group by class to make these aggregate functions work properly. Okay, clear? We have other aggregate functions, date conversions and everything. So we'll see those in the next session. So please try to practice these aggregate functions and basic CDS view using joins. Okay, so CDS views are very important in this new age of S4HANA ABAP, right? So mostly we are using CDS views for many developments.